I'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming out.
And when I got to the mosque, I prayed, I heard the adhan. I was really shocked. I had never really heard Quran before. It was all really new to me. But I thought it was amazing.
And then one day during Ramadan, I came here. The previous 2 times I knew where the mosque was because we went here during a high school field trip. So I eventually mustered up the courage during Ramadan to come in here in the mosque. I talked to a brother and he said, why are you interested in Islam? And I'm like, well, in my opinion, only God could write a book like this. It was written in the 7th century, but it contains facts that we know in the 20th century.
In 2010, I was given the Quran, and I'm pretty open to things that come at me. So when I got the Quran and I was reading it, I read it in 24 hours. It was a blur for 2 days. I came home and I called my sister. And I said, I found out where all the nice people are.
A lot of people have benefited from coming today. Most of the questions people have are, how do you guys pray? What do you guys think about, parts of our beliefs? Like, for example, Christians might wonder, what do Muslims believe about Jesus? What do they believe about Mary? And we just tell them that there's chapters in the Quran dedicated to Mary and the family of Jesus called Surah Ali Imran.
It killed a lot of myths that I may be at about Islam. What you see on TV isn't the real Islam.
People, they live here with different mentality, different understanding. The first thing is that they have no fear and they like to come back. If that's only the result, we're happy to make more events like this.
To give you one note, I had kind of given up on mankind because of all the corruption and all the disappointments of, ruining the world, hurting animals. It goes on and on the list. But the Quran opened up my heart. I fell in love with God, Allah, like I had never known him before. I converted 1 week during Ramadan. And what I realized was I was wrong most of my life. Man was pretty good. It was just some had guidance and some didn't. And even when I talk about it today, I feel like crying because they were all in the mosque. It hits me every day when I think about the essence of this religion. It's not what you hear on the news. It's far from that. And the people are wonderful people. And they have good hearts. And everybody has a good heart. The environment that we're in is far from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to have. And I hope if there's anything that you grab today is feel what you're feeling. It's a beautiful thing. It's not what people think. I hope today something happens that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens your heart, because when He opens it, there's no closing it.
We're not capable of imagining it. And another thing I learned in Islam when I started to research was that all these scientific miracles where, it had been revealed to the Prophet that God revealed to him about how the baby is developed in the womb and how the mountains are formed and how the seas, they meet, but they don't mix, salt water and sweet water, right? So I used to think to myself, this is 1400 years ago, and we're just figuring these things out now. So how is it possible for him to know this? He would have had to time travel, you know what I mean? So I was so confused, and I said there has to be some aspect of truth to this. After I prayed, I went down and I took my shahada and my declaration, and I decided, this is something I want to be a part of. This is, Islam it's beautiful.
I just looked. I Googled on the computer and I looked. And I found my answers in Islam. You have to follow your heart. and I had read a lot, and I thought to myself, you know what, I have to follow my heart. So I told my wife, I said, look, I am going the way of Islam because I believe it is true. I said, but I will respect you as a Christian because you are in the Quran as one of the people of the book, and I will take you to church and bring you home. I will also look after you like I've always done. And that's what I did. And you'll find that if you really, really study Islam, really study it and look into it, your heart will go a certain way and it will go towards God, Allah.
May Allah open up your hearts and bring you to this wonderful religion. Assalamu alaikum.